on Christian Fantasy by Marshall Myers. I am a longtime reader and fan of epic fantasy, both Christian and secular, and have come to realize the differences between the two. In Christian fantasy, we see an etching of the true story, the great story that the true immortal storyteller is weaving, albeit through a glass darkly, for these subcreated tales, at their best, are merely reflections of the first author's creativity, and the first author is matchless. In Christian fantasy we see the towers of Cair Paravel, the blessed realms of Valinor and Aslan's country, and unlike the tales of Arthur, in these baptized stories we actually follow our king to his homeland. In Christian fantasy are brave paladin kings, who are courageous and true. Sir Peter Wolfsbane was a knight of the most noble order of the Lion, the sons of Elrond, bastions of courage against the forces of the Dark Lord. Sir Launcelot du Lac was a rapist, an adulterer, and an insurrectionist. King Elendil was a faithful leader, beloved of the One. Arthur committed incest that led to his downfall and the downfall of his heavenly kingdom. Eomer was humble and loyal. Beowulf was a prideful hothead who only cared about his own renown. Reepicheep sailed for Aslan's country and was willing to lay down his life of adventure for the greatest prize and the greatest adventure. Bran sailed aimlessly after a woman that had caught his lustful eye. Caspian brought peace between two warring factions. Cuchulainn inflamed an already bitter rivalry that led to even more deaths. Aragorn and Beren waited for the proper time to wed their loves. Sigurd fathered a child with Brynhild and then left her for Gudrun. Gandalf the Grey is an angelic spirit, led by a higher power. Merlin is the son of a demon. There is something about Christian fantasy that draws us further up and further in, and always leaves us with the happily ever after. Many secular mythologies and fantasies lack even a satisfying denouement. The curse upon the Volsungs continues even in the second generation. But in Christian fantasy the Shire is reborn, and though he cries many tears, Sam knows as he watches Frodo leave the Shire that he and his many children will someday be reunited with Mr. Frodo in a land that the enemy cannot touch. Even though Lucy is afraid of being sent away, Aslan assures her that she will never have to leave again back to her lackluster world of sorrow and pain. Christian fantasy has the only true happily ever afters. As I said before, these are the shadows of the true happily ever after that will come sooner than we think. The greatest paladin king will return leading his glorious army, and the greatest happily ever after will come true. Our fantasy shall become reality.